Good afternoon. We're convening the Transportation and Culture and Arts Committee on our 3 p.m. agenda here in State Capitol Conference Room 224. We have several resolutions on the agenda this afternoon. We'll ask everyone to keep your testimony concise and to no more than 1 minute to make sure we can get to everybody and everyone will have a chance to speak. So up first is House Concurrent Resolution 71, requesting the Ko'olina Golf Club owners and management in coordination with the Department of Transportation to implement measures to prevent golf balls from reaching Farrington Highway. And testifying first on HCR 71 is the Ko'olina Golf Club. With comments, Kingdom of the Hawaiian Islands and Ohana United Party online.
Not available on Zoom Chair.
Thank you. Jermaine Myers online.
Also not on Zoom Chair.
Okay, that's everyone who had signed up to testify. Is there anyone else wishing to testify on HCR 71? Seeing none, and seeing as there's no one to ask questions of, let's move.
Can I just make a comment though? Or no? Okay, go ahead.
You're gonna save it for.
Oh yeah, after. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. Oh please go ahead. Did you want to testify?
I don't need to testify. I would be sent to testimony, but I came in a meeting.
Are you Greg Nichols?
Yes, I am.
Oh, it's right there.
Yeah. Oh,
Lisa
go ahead.
Manners and testify.
If you had a question.
No, just a comment, but we can do it after. Is that a
Can
question?
you ask it with an inflection at the end? So it
Okay,
sounds like
yeah.
a question?
Yes, yes. Okay. No, I just wanted to, sorry, because this is my community and my constituents who had reached out to my office and Representative Keela's office had expressed concern because they were driving on Farrington Highway, or they were coming off of the highway and a golf ball had hit the windshield of their vehicle. And when we had reached out to the Golf Club Association, you folks were just so gracious and so cooperative. So I did just want to say thank you very much for working with my office and Representative Keela's office and our constituents. They were very happy. And I just wanted to really commend you for your timely effectiveness of getting this done and assuring that my constituent was able to get that fixed in a very quick turnaround time. So I was very impressed and I just wanted to thank you guys very much.
I appreciate you reaching out on their behalf as well.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
All right, let's move on to HCR 119 HD1, endorsing Taiwan's international participation, supporting the signing of a United States-Taiwan bilateral trade agreement and commemorating the relationships and exchanges between the state of Hawaii and Taiwan. And we have testimony first from DBED.
Good afternoon, Chair, Vice Chairs, and members of the committee. My name is Tim Vitiu, Economic Development Specialist with DBED. On behalf of DBED, we stand on our written testimony and support the resolutions. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. That's everyone who had signed up to testify. Is there anyone else wishing to testify on HCR 119? Seeing none, are there any questions? All right, seeing none, let's move on to the third measure, HCR 163, urging the State Foundation on Culture and the Arts to establish an annual festival celebrating Pacific Island culture and arts. And testifying first is the Department of Business, Economic Development and Tourism.
Aloha, Chair Lee and Vice Chair Inouye and members of the committee. We're tonight on behalf of DBED and we stand on our written testimony on HCR 163 HD.
In support. Thank you. We also have testimony from the State Foundation on Culture and the Arts.
Aloha, Chair Lee and members of the committee. My name is Kamukani Punia and I am the Art and Public Places Program Director for the State Foundation on Culture and the Arts, as well as the Museum Director for Capital Modern, the Hawaii State Art Museum. I am speaking on behalf of our
Do you
Executive Director.
come join us? That way folks can hear you at the mic.
No worries. I am speaking on behalf of our Executive Director, Karen Ewald, to provide testimony on this measure. The State Foundation supports House Concurrent Resolution 163 HD1, which urges the Foundation to establish an annual festival celebrating Pacific Island culture and the arts. We would love to host a similar annual festival that shares the kind of themes and goals of perpetuating Pacific art and culture, similar to that of the 13th Festival of Pacific Arts and Culture that took place on June 6th to the 16th of last year. Of course, contingent on available funding and staff resources. Mahalo for the opportunity to provide testimony on this measure, and I'm available if you have further questions.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's everyone who had signed up to testify on this measure in person. Is there anyone else on HCR 163? All right, seeing none, are there any questions? Okay, well, that's the end of our agenda, so why don't we just go straight into decision-making on these resolutions? And back to the top, starting with HCR 71. Requesting the Ko'olina Golf Club owners and management to coordinate with DOT to implement measures to prevent golf balls from reaching Farrington Highway. Recommendation is to pass as is. Any discussion? All right, seeing none, Vice Chair for the vote.
Okay, Chair's recommendation on HCR 71 is to pass unamended. Chair Lee.
Aye.
Vice Chair goes aye. Senator Elafante.
Aye.
Senator Kanuha is excused. Senator DeCourt.
Aye.
Measure is adopted, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Moving on to HCR 119, endorsing Taiwan's international participation and supporting the signing of the United States-Taiwan bilateral trade agreement and commemorating the relationships and exchanges between the state of Hawaii and Taiwan. Recommendation is to pass with amendments, making just technical amendments. There's no further discussion. Vice Chair for the vote. Chair votes aye.
Chair's recommendation on HCR 119 House Draft 1 is to pass with amendments with 4 members present, any voting with reservations, any no votes.
Oh, actually, you know what? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, any no votes, measure is adopted, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. And finally, moving on to HCR 163, urging the State Foundation on Culture and the Arts to establish an annual festival celebrating Pacific Island culture and arts. The recommendation is to pass as is. And I'll just note for this one, this resolution was introduced by Representative Gene Ward, so it'll likely be the last thing I think that we vote on of his.
Oh, nice.
Just wanted to recognize, I think, the work that he's done over the years on some of these issues.
He's been very active internationally as well. Thank you. Chair's recommendation on the Committee on Transportation and Culture and the Arts is to pass HCR 163 House Draft 1 unamended. Okay, with 4 members present, any voting with reservations, any no votes. Measure is adopted, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Before we adjourn, let me just take a quick recess. Okay, we're reconvening the Committee on Transportation, Culture, and the Arts. On our 3 p.m. agenda, we had just voted out the measures on this agenda. I just wanted to double check that we did a couple technical things right. So with that, we are adjourned. Good afternoon. We're convening our joint committees on transportation and culture and the arts, together with our good friends from the Committee on Energy and Intergovernmental Affairs on our 3:20 p.m. agenda here in State Capitol Conference Room 224. We have a number of resolutions up on the agenda, so we'll ask everyone to keep their testimony to 1 minute to make sure that we have time to get to all testifiers. With that, we'll begin with HCR 70, requesting the Department of Transportation to facilitate and accelerate the adoption of sustainable aviation fuels to decarbonize Hawaii's transportation sector and support the state's climate goals. Testifying first is the Department of Transportation on Zoom.
Not available on Zoom, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Alaska Airlines. Hawaii Renewable Fuels Coalition.
Aloha chairs, vice chairs, and members of the committee. Nahilani Parsons for the Hawaii Renewable Fuels Coalition. We appreciate this resolution to further the conversation with DOT to address the Navahine climate settlement, and we're available if you have questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Also signed to testify is Master Shelby Pikachu Billionaire from the Kingdom of the Hawaiian Islands and Ohana Unity Party Online.
Not available on Zoom, Chair.
And then finally, Jermaine Myers on Zoom.
Also not available on Zoom, Chair.
Okay, thank you. That's everyone who's signed up to testify on HCR 70. Is there anyone else wishing to testify on this measure?
Part of Hawaii, my name is Mark Noy, aloha chairs, vice chairs, members of the committee, Mark Noy from Hawaii. We stand on our testimony available for any questions.
Thank you. Okay, anybody else on HCR 70? Seeing none, any questions?
Yeah. DOT, please.
Aloha, committee
Hi,
member.
Laura. According to your testimony in the resolution, aren't you guys already doing what is called for in this resolution with your greenhouse reduction plan?
Yes, we are. We are definitely incorporating clean fuels and sustainable aviation fuel into our, we're calling it an energy security and waste reduction plan, and reaching out to the airlines to get their input and collaboration. So yes, it would be a continuation of that.
Okay, so it's a continuation of that versus the need, whether or not to do it, whether or not the reso is needed.
So you're asking like, would we do the same work?
So since you're already doing it, is there a need still for the reso?
I think the reso would take it a step further in having us come back and do a targeted report showing the progress made before next session. So we'll come out with our energy security plan this summer, and then I think what it would do is just have more of a focused report on the strategies, especially legislative strategies that we might want to all work on together next session. And some of the, I guess, logistical hurdles in expanding SAF adoption statewide.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Any further questions? Seeing none, let's move on to the next measure. HCR 123, requesting the Department of Transportation Services of the City and County of Honolulu to implement a restricted parking zone pilot program in the Ko'olina, Honokai Hale, Nanakuli, and Maili neighborhoods. And testifying first is Jermaine Myers, online.
Still not available on Zoom, Chair.
Thank you. And then also signed up to testify is the Kingdom of the Hawaiian Islands and Ohana Unity Party, also on Zoom.
Also not available on Zoom, Chair.
Thank you. That's everyone who had signed up to testify. Is there anyone else wishing to testify on HCR 123? Seeing none, or seeing as there's no one to ask questions of, why don't I turn it over to my esteemed colleague from the Energy and Intergovernmental Affairs Committee to take it from here.
Thank you, Chair. We're going to move on to HCR 57, urging the Department of Transportation Services of the City and County of Honolulu to conduct a traffic mitigation and calming study to evaluate the effectiveness of certain traffic mitigation and calming devices in and around Paiwa Street in Waipahu. On our testifiers list, we have Calais, an individual has submitted testimony support. That's all I have for any written testimonies. Anyone else wishing to testify on HCR 57? If not, members, unfortunately, there's no one to ask questions of, so we're going to move on to the next resolution. That is HCR 57, excuse me, HCR 112, strongly urging the Honolulu City and County to adopt a pedestrian-first policy via ordinance. On our testifiers list, we have Kenneth Fink from the Department of Health, has submitted testimony in support. Oahu Metropolitan Planning Organization in support, and Eduardo Hernandez from the Bicycling League, all in support. And we have two more. Laureen Lord from the Hawaii Public Health Institute has submitted testimony in support, and Errol Ingram, I believe, is joining us via Zoom. Welcome, Errol.
Aloha, Chair, Vice Chair, and committee members. My name is Errol Ingram Jr., and I am a junior at UH Manoa studying social work. I'm testifying in strong support of HCR 112. As a future social worker, I've learned that safety and well-being are the foundation of a healthy community. We cannot expect people to thrive emotionally, mentally, or physically if they don't feel safe in their own neighborhoods. HCR 112 represents a step towards restoring that sense of security. It shows that our voices are being heard and that our leaders are taken seriously. The call for protection, dignity, and peace in our daily lives. When communities feel safe, they can begin to heal and grow. And that's exactly what we're working towards in social work. Mahalo for the opportunity to testify.
Thank you for joining us, Mr. Ingram. Is there anyone else wishing to testify on HCR 112? Oh, Angela, welcome.
Aloha.
Aloha, nice outfit.
What did you say?
He said welcome.
Oh,
Go ahead.
thank you. Aloha, mai kako.
Aloha, welcome.
Angela Melody Young, in strong support of pedestrian first policy, because this will help with the urban planning and design as we're preparing for transit-oriented development in the communities. And so this will create and sustain a walkable environment, and it will be environmentally friendly. And so yet in this task force, we do not see an integration with the county's plans, for example, the Oahu General Plan, as well as the Sustainable Communities Plan. So the concern that I have as a safety coordinator with Kapalama Neighborhood Security Walk and going to the City Council Honolulu Hale to testify and to debate, although I'm not speaking on behalf of the council, but it would be interesting to be inclusive, to create a task force to go over the plans that the council members that have put a lot of time and energy into for development of
Can you
the
summarize?
pedestrian first policies, as well as safe routes to schools, these things. Yeah, instead of kind of just like inventing plans and not coordinating and integrating with other people who have already done the planning. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela. Is there anyone else wishing to testify on HCR 112? Yes.
Aloha, Chair, Vice Chair, members of the committee. Justin Anita with the Department of Health. We stand on our testimony to support.
Thank you, Justin. That testimony was just in. Okay, anyone else wishing to testify on 112? Okay, any questions for those who are here? All right, we're going to move on to the next resolution. That is House Concurrent Resolution 177, encouraging the City and County of Honolulu to initiate a Summer Streets pilot program. On our testifiers list, we have Ken Fink from the Department of Health. Has submitted testimony in support. We have Samantha Lara, Ted Bolham, and Lauren Lure, all in support. Is there anyone else wishing to testify on HCR 177?
Aloha, again, Justin Anita with the Department of Health. Our disease research is also located. We likewise stand on our testimony to support.
Okay, so I called Kenneth Fink, but yeah, you represent his testimony from the Department of Health. Thank you for joining us, Justin. Is there anyone else wishing to testify on HCR 177? If not, members, any questions? Okay. We're going to move on to the last measure on this agenda, that is HCR 203, urging the County of Maui to prioritize the development and planning of the northern terminus of the Kihei North-South Collector Road. And for our testimony, we have nothing. So there's no one to ask questions of, and do we want to move into decision-making?
Sure.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, moving back to the top of the agenda to HCR 70, requesting DOT to facilitate the adoption of sustainable aviation fuels. Recommendation is to pass as is. Any discussion? Seeing none, Vice Chair for the vote. Chair votes aye.
For the Committee on Transportation and Culture and the Arts, Chair's recommendation on HCR 70, House Draft 1 is to pass unamended. Chair Lee.
Aye.
Vice Chair goes aye. Senator Elefante.
Aye.
Senator Kanuha. Senator DeCourt.
No.
Measure is adopted, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
For the EIG committee, their recommendation is the same, to pass this measure out as is. Any discussion? If not, Senator Chang, I vote yes.
Chair's recommendation is to pass HCR 70 unamended. Chair will aye. Vice Chair Chang, aye. Senator Cook.
Reservations.
Reservations. Senator Richards.
Aye.
Senator Corrales. Recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. Moving on to HCR 123, requesting DOT and the City and County of Honolulu to implement a restricted parking zone pilot program. Recommendations to pass with amendments, making technical amendments. Any discussion? If not, Vice Chair.
The Committee on Transportation and Culture and the Arts is Chair's recommendation on HCR 123 is to pass with amendments with 5 members present, any voting with reservations, any no votes. Okay, measure is adopted, Mr. Chair.
For EIG committee, same recommendation, to pass this measure as is. Any discussion? If not, Senator Chang.
Chair's recommendation for HCR 123 is to pass with amendments of the members present. Noting all members present, are there any objections or reservations? Seeing none, the recommendation is passed.
And then moving on to HCR 204, recognizing the belated birthday of our majority leader in the state Senate, Drew. Oh, sorry, wrong agenda. Let me turn it back over to my co-chair.
Well, I was looking for a vote sheet for that.
All in favor, say happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Okay. I can get back to business.
Turning it back over to my co-chair.
Very nice.
Okay.
We note there's all testimony and support for that unscheduled measure. For HCR 57, this is for traffic mitigation and calming studies. The chairs have conferred, and we'd like to pass this measure out as is. Any discussion? If not, Senator Chang, I vote yes.
Chair's recommendation for HCR 57 is to pass unamended. Of the 5 members present, are there any objections or reservations? Seeing none, the recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. TCA committee, same recommendation.
For the Committee on Transportation and Culture and the Arts, Chair's recommendation on HCR 57 is to pass unamended with 5 members present, any voting with reservations, any no votes. Measure is adopted, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
The next measure, House Concurrent Resolution 112. This is to urge more pedestrian-friendly ordinances on the City and County of Honolulu. I'd like to pass this measure out as is. Any discussion? If not, Senator Chang, I vote yes.
Chair's recommendation for HCR 112 is to pass unamended. Noting the presence of all members, are there any objections or reservations? Seeing none, the recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. TCA committee, same recommendation.
Chair's recommendation on HCR 112 on the Committee on Transportation and Culture and the Arts is to pass unamended with 5 members present, any voting with reservations, any no votes. Measure is adopted, Mr. Chair.
The next measure is House Concurrent Resolution 177. This is encouraging the City and County of Honolulu to initiate a summer streets pilot program, and would like to pass this measure out as is. Any discussion? If not, Senator Chang, I vote yes.
Chair's recommendation for HCR 177 is to pass unamended. Of the members noting the presence of all the members, are there any objections or reservations? Seeing none, the recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. TCA committee, same recommendation.
Chair's recommendation on HCR 177 to pass unamended with 5 members present, any voting with reservations, any no votes. Measure is adopted, Mr. Chair.
Okay, the last measure is House Concurrent Resolution 203. This is regarding the Kihei North-South Collector Road. Members, the measure asks that the Maui County Planning Department be the entity that's kind of tasked with this responsibility, but it was made known to us through one of our colleagues that it's actually the Maui Public Works Department that does this type of work and responsibilities outlined in the resolution. So we'd like to make 2 changes. Where it says Maui County Planning Department, we're going to replace that with the Maui Public Works Department and change the Director of the Maui County Planning Department to the Director of the Maui County Public Works Department. This would actually put some responsibilities in the hands of the proper agency instead of having it misappropriately identified as outlined in the current bill or current resolution. Any discussion on that, those 2 changes and suggested amendments? If not, Senator Chang, I vote yes.
Chair's recommendation for HCR 203 is to pass with amendments. Noting the presence of all members, are there any objections or reservations? Seeing none, the recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. TCA committee, same recommendation.
Okay, Chair's recommendation on HCR 203 to pass with amendments with 5 members present, any voting with reservations, any no votes. Measure is adopted, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Happy birthday, Drew. We're adjourned.
Happy birthday.